Welcome everybody to our City Council regular meeting tonight. The council chamber is open to the public at 100% capacity. Today's Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. Invocation tonight to be given by Pastor Mark Thompson from the First Baptist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor, thank you.
Bow with me as I read from Romans chapter 11. Oh, the depth of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments and how inscrutable his ways. Lord God, we come to you now praying for wisdom. Wisdom in judgments, decisions. And Lord, we just pray that in all the decisions that are made tonight, that they will be to advance your goodness, to advance your kingdom in Kingsburg. As we see all the beautiful lights and decorations for Christmas, we're just reminded again that the most beautiful thing about Kingsburg are the residents. Thank you for our community. Thank you for this city. Thank you for these leaders in this council chamber. And we just ask, will you give them your mind and your heart today? May they make decisions that bring a smile to your face and glory to your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mark. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
I'm here.
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 Here. Next, we're going to approve the agenda. Action by council to approve the agenda or to make modifications. Items that can be added to the agenda are constrained by state law.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Presentations tonight, we have none. So next on the agenda, we have public comments tonight. This is time for any citizen to come forward and address City Council on any issue within its jurisdiction that is not listed on the agenda. A maximum of 5 minutes is allowed for each speaker. Do we have anybody that would like to do public comment tonight? Come on up. Just please state your name and if you're a resident.
Okay. Yep. My name is Larry King, and I am a property owner here in Kingsburg, but I would like to come to you guys, before you guys as a neighbor, as I have property at 86 Avenue Drive, 863 6th Avenue Drive, so that's just on the west side of town. And so I just am here to introduce myself. I do have 10 acres there. My zoning is AL. Everybody west of me is AE. But I do know how my my current government, sponsorship governing body, Fresno County, how they view the property, and I know that I'd like to see how my neighbors, the city of Kingsburg, views. So I know you guys are city council and not the city planning commission, but I just want to introduce myself and let you know that hope to maybe reach out and talk to some of you guys just to try to understand how you guys feel about zoning, sphere of influence, parcel size. Either with city specs or county lots, gentleman farms, farming, how you view your neighbor. So I just kind of want to understand a little bit of how you guys are thinking of things, and I want you to understand a little bit of what I'm thinking. So I just want to introduce myself again and hope to reach out to some of you guys and talk about the exciting, riveting topics of land, that kind of thing. So, right. So anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else here tonight for public comment? No? Okay, we'll close public comment. Next on the agenda, we have consent calendar. Items considered routine in nature are to be placed on the consent calendar. They will be considered as one item and voted upon in one vote unless individual consideration is requested. Each vote in favor of consent calendar is considered and recorded as a separate affirmative vote in favor of each action listed. Approval of the consent calendar items include recitals, readings, ordinances by titles only, and adoption of recommended actions contained in staff reports. Is there any council member that would like to pull an item?
I'd like to pull 5.2, please.
5.2, okay. Anybody from the public like to pull an item? No? Okay. Do we have to make a motion to pull the item? Okay. Okay, that's right. Can I get a motion to approve item 5.1?
That motion. I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Item 5.2, I just noticed one thing we might want to look at changing. I know that on 6/6/23, we have a switch because of the 8th grade promotion at Raper. This year, they actually are, it's a week earlier. So promotions on that Wednesday, I believe it's 5/31, where we don't have council. So if we wanted to move it back to Wednesday, I just wanted to bring that up so that it wasn't a switch. Any thoughts? Do we want to keep it on the Wednesday?
Doesn't matter to me.
I think now that it's not impacting graduation, it makes sense, or promotion, right? I think it makes sense to take it back to the normal calendar that it was. So I support
Everybody's
that.
used to having it on the first and third Wednesday of the month.
It's very scheduled. Okay, so then I will make a motion for 5.2 with that change.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next we go to regular calendar. Amended Development Agreement, Stone Plaza. Staff report by City Manager Alex Henderson.
Good evening, Mr. Pro Tem and members of council. This is a continued item regarding the development of the property located at the corner of Draper and California Street, formerly of the Old Stone Hotel and Commercial Properties, now known as Stone Plaza. The former building housed tenants on the ground floor, which included office, retail, and service commercial uses, and the upper floor was once a hotel, but had been vacant and unutilized for several years. On October 16th, 2016, the building was lost due to a fire that is believed to have started due to faulty wiring on the second level. The property owner, Efrain Yanez, has committed to developing a two-story building with the following 18,600 square feet, two-story building with roughly 8,700 square feet of commercial space on the ground level, market rate apartments with 9 on the top floor and 1 ADA unit on the ground floor, so 10 units total, an open courtyard area, parking provided on the adjacent lot to the south, and an enhanced Swedish design. In February of 2019, Council approved a development agreement under the provisions provided by the Business Improvement Zone, which was passed through a resolution in 2018, which authorizes the city manager to reduce city impact fees for projects that meet eligibility requirements. For various reasons, including those related to site plan design, negotiations with the commercial tenant, and COVID-19, the developer was unable to meet the deadline, the timelines originally laid out in that development agreement. As such, the council considered and granted an extension in September 2020, and then in mid-2021, the developer again approached staff seeking an extension to that amended agreement. After inserting additional milestones for the project, the council adopted an extension that's set to expire at the end of January 2023. That new amended agreement included the following new provisions. The developer must have all entitlements and permitting approved by December 31st, 2021. The developer was to commence construction by January 31st, 2022. And the developer is to complete that construction within 12 months of work commencing. Each of the requirements outlined in the most recent amendment were met by the developer outside of that completion date. Due to financing requirements and delays in material procurement due to supply chain issues, some of the work was unable to proceed on the originally intended schedule. In addition, the developer has been told by PG&E that they are unlikely to get necessary power to the building until spring of 2023. Given the project has been progressing adequately within the guidelines of the most recent agreement and the final occupancy will likely be delayed outside of the developer's control, staff is recommending an additional extension of the agreement. The financial considerations have not changed from the original 2019 agreement. The commercial space includes 3 suites. 2 of those spaces have agreed leases. The middle and largest commercial space remains open, and the property owner has been working closely with staff on locating a long-term tenant. So our recommendation this evening is to approve the proposed amended development agreement, which was prepared by the city attorney. That concludes my report, and the property owner is in the audience this evening if there are questions, and I'm also happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Is there anybody from the public that has comment on this agenda item? No. Okay. Council discussion.
So, a couple of things. One, I understand that, building materials and things like that have been, there's a lot of delays with construction. I mean, that's been given on other projects, but my concern is because we were delayed even getting started, that has, I think we would have been on schedule if it started earlier. So now we're at a point where we're being asked for another extension, which is frustrating. And then PG&E has been an issue for a lot of projects as well. But here we are again asking for another extension where if the project had started on time, we wouldn't have been at this, coming back again. So that's where my frustration is. So I'm just concerned that we're going to keep being asked for more and more extensions. So at what point do we say, enough's enough? So that's where I'm at. Because if we had started this on time like we had been asked, I don't think we'd be here. And with the supply chain issues and everything else. So that's where my frustration has come in.
Is Mr. Yones here?
Yeah, I am. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Efren Yanes. I see your frustration. I feel the same way on my side. I always say good things happen with time, and this is not an easy project. Downtown, it was complicated from COVID-19, all the way through from banks trying to finance the project, PG&E. I mean, there's times where I could just get any tenant and say, let's just move forward. I'm working with the city, with everybody, trying to get the best tenant, and hopefully we can get a nice project in the end. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, all the support from you guys, from Alex, from Julian, and everybody. And I know that it's been frustrating for everybody. Just, I wish I would have a better answer for you. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, we're very excited to see this project, happen and working with you. We've said that since day one. It's going to be a wonderful project when it's finished. But, nothing happened for a long time, and so we were getting questions. This has been down here. It's been in my district, so a lot of people have been asking the question, how come we haven't seen anything happen? So, you're saying, we haven't had a tenant or anything. Well, at least get something going in the meantime, because it's been over a year since anything had happened. So I think that's where the frustration comes in. If we at least had had something going, we wouldn't be here to be asking for another extension. And I think, with the, things not coming down the pipeline, I understand that. I mean, everyone has those issues. And then PG&E is a problem too, but knowing that those things are going to be a problem, that's why I would like to got going on this, so we're not here asking for another extension. So how many more extensions are you anticipating then?
I think this is the last one. I'm hoping by next year we're going to be open. I mean, if I don't open that, the facility is going to be it's not going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for the city. Sometimes it takes a while to start, but once we started, it's going to, I don't know if you noticed that it's been going very steady, and we haven't stopped for pretty much nothing. We have all the support from everybody, from like I said, from the city, from the inspectors, from every direction, and I think we'll be done by the first quarter of next year, and then TIs, which is going to be the tenants, will be done by the end of next year. But as far as the building, we should be done by the first quarter of next year.
You anticipate the first quarter of 2023, you'll be done.
Yes.
And then with the tenant improvements, they'll be done, then you're saying the second half?
It's either the second half for the first two, and the end of the year for the last one.
Okay, what about the apartments? So
The apartments will be done
First quarter?
by the first quarter.
And how's that going then with renting apartments? Have people contacted you yet, or have you started that? Yeah.
Too many. There's a lot of people interested. Probably have over 100 people in our list. Yeah, so very excited.
Yeah, no, it's a great project. We've been excited about. That's why I think we're anxious to get it going. Because it's it's been sitting for a long time, so people are excited to see it. I
And-
know you do quality work, so.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. I hope we're not going to come short from what you guys seen in the picture and everything else. We might even do a little better than what you guys see in the planning.
I have a question. Mrs. Bartel, can you go up one page, please? Okay, right towards the bottom. It says, where it starts the paragraph in February 2019, right there. If you look, like the last sentence, it says mid, and then it says 202. The developer approached the staff seeking another extension. What was that, 2021?
Yes.
2021. Okay, I remember the conversation here, and I know that's probably part of your frustration, was the conversation was that was it. And we hadn't seen, like, movement. Now we see a lot of movement. I know COVID played into that, and a lot of things like that. I think that we just want to make sure it gets done. You're like a crown jewel going to be down here, We want to make sure it gets done in a timely manner, and, like, we're trying to help out with that. And so, like, moving forward, if this is something that we want to approve, I just would want to have this be the last time.
You assured us at that meeting that there wouldn't be any more extensions, remember, and you had your project manager here, was a lady here saying, we're on it, I'm here, we're not gonna we'll make sure nothing else happens.
I mean,
She's so feeling.
No, she is not. There's a lot of things that happens through. I mean, interest went up. Banks are sometimes, and I don't know if you notice, when you need money, they don't give you a loan. When you don't need money, they give you anything you want. I mean, it's as simple as that. I feel like bankers are trained not to lend money to anybody. I mean, there's been other things, and it's easy for me to start a project and just keep the project asleep. Why do you guys want to have anybody just blocking the street just to start a project for you guys to see the project going? I think we're starting the project. We're moving forward smoothly. Everybody is happy, and as we go, 8 months, a year, a project as big as that one, not too many people can do it, and we are doing it. And I'm sure you guys see the progress, and I'm happy. I hope you guys are. And like I said, I mean, it's been a challenge from everybody.
Yeah, I think so far it's looking good. Alex, on the last extension, he met the requirements that we had put forth at that time?
Everything except for the anticipated completion date, which would
Right,
be.
yeah,
the end of
besides
January.
that one, yeah.
Correct, yes.
That's why, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, well, I know that, I mean, I guess your frustration, I'm sure, too, with building materials and, I know, like, I have an issue with my car, and they said, oh, it's going to be a month to get a part, a part that should take a week. So I see your frustration also, and I know with PG&E also, with their fines, I have family members that work for them, and with the fines that they've had for fires, that they've had to cut back, and their times are now a lot longer to get things done. So, and what I would like to say is, we want to see it done, soon, but I would like to throw out there that don't rush it, because we want it done, correctly and look very nice. So, do your due diligence to get it done on time, but don't rush anything so that it looks great for Kingsburg.
Good things happen with time.
Exactly.
And
I agree with you.
That's pretty much what I have to say. I mean, I can rush it and give you guys something in paper that's not going to be what's out there. You guys go and see what we have in the building, and it's every expectation that is in the building, that's what's there. And it's going to be more than that as well. The building itself and the inside, I would love for you guys to tour the building and everybody to say how nice it's going to be. It's just all the way around is going to be nice.
Right.
From the inside to the outside.
Sounds good.
I have a question regarding the impact fees. So the impact fee is $73.79 per unit. When we talk about waiving those fees, are we talking about doing that per unit as one unit for the entire structure, or are we talking about 10 individual units as apartments and then 3 suites?
So it's the development agreement and the incentive that he has is for impact fees for the market rate apartments only.
Okay.
So he's receiving a 90% credit on the market rate apartments. So it would be per unit.
Per unit. So we're talking about overall cost of somewhere around the $67,000 to $80,000 range.
I think it's, yeah, so I think it's
More or less. I have
right around 70
$73.79
grand, I think, is
per
the
unit.
credit. Yeah.
With, obviously it's going to depend on at the time. I just want to point that out because it's not nothing for tax dollars to give that amount. And I want you to build the best product you can, but at the same time, we do have to be responsible for our tax dollars also. So us waiving that fee, my fear is that I want you to understand now that there is an expectation that you're going to meet these deadlines, because it's not a guarantee that those are going to, if you miss another deadline, there's not going to be a guarantee that that's going to happen again. And that's a lot of money for us, and it's a lot of money for you. So I just want to be completely clear that, like, there is a certain expectation that it's going to get finished this next time because of the quantity of money that we're talking about waiving. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. That's all I really want to speak on, is because I think the project's going to be amazing. I do. But we have to be really responsible with our tax dollars too.
I mean, I want the tax dollars for everybody,
Yeah.
for everybody too.
And I think you're doing the right thing. I do. And I think PG&E is going to be a real heartache for you with this project, as it has been for other projects in town. So it looks good. Keep at it. Just want to be fully transparent. If we come back again at the end, those impact fees may look differently if it's violated again.
Yeah. Well, it's not only PG&E, it's so many things. Through everybody's blaming COVID, and people laid off a lot of people during COVID through the nation,
Yeah.
and now just to get apart is just very tough. Any other questions?
So, in this new agreement, it's saying no later than September 30, completion of construction is no later than September 30, 2023. Is that what I'm reading correctly?
It would have
That's
to
the
be,
extension?
yes, it would be occupancy of the apartments.
He's saying first quarter, that it would be completed.
Right.
But we're extending it out 9 months?
I think we're going to run into issues with PG&E.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we
just
can't,
PG&E.
we can't give occupancy without power.
Right.
I don't want to hold you accountable for a PG&E.
We don't have a timeline for PG&E, and so his portion might be entirely done on the first quarter of 2023, but we don't know if he'll have power service in the first quarter of 2023.
Okay, so if it's no later than September 30, 2023, so what happens September 30, 2023, and it's not completed?
Well, I mean, if it was a EFRN issue and he wanted an extension, I would probably tell him that's not a good idea. If it was a utilities issue, then I guess that would be a conversation for the council at that time if it's entirely out of his control.
But if other construction parts aren't finished, then PG&E can't even come in. See what I mean? So that's where my concerns are.
Right.
Do we add something else in there, a penalty to say if it's not completed? If it's just PG&E, that's a different story. But if there's other issues that are tied into that, that's where I'm concerned.
Right. So if he doesn't have, if we're just sitting there waiting for him to have service at the end of September, and that's the only outstanding item from the building department standpoint, then I think that would be the conversation we would have with the council. If there's a bunch of other things that are still outstanding from the building department side as it relates to the apartments, then that's probably a different conversation I'd be having with Mr.
But you don't want
Yanes.
to put anything in now.
It's going to come back before council.
Well, it would, for an extension, it would have to come back. So I don't, I guess it's at your pleasure if you have specific language that you think would be more direct.
I think with that, I think I know what Councilmember Roman is saying. She's just looking for some guaranteed responsibility with that, and I think that's kind of, we're going to have new council members to reassess that at that point. But I just think that I just want to be clear with you that that's going to be a different conversation. If it's something that's on you, and we're reasonable, I think we're all pretty reasonable people. If you've done everything you can, just really work with the city so that they know, especially when your part's done and you're just waiting on PG&E, because we get that. So just be real transparent with the city so they know.
Well, I think I have, and like I said earlier,
Is that correct?
Yeah, and so that's, I think AG's out there, most days or every other day doing inspections right now since the project's been going. And so now it's really, we're in the process of scheduling the tie into the sewer service and, I know that they've had PG&E out there and that's why they're giving them, I think, sort of a March-ish time frame is what they've been told, because they actually have to install an additional pole for him to get service to the project. And so we just don't have a firm date yet, so.
I'm comfortable with it.
any other questions?
Thank you, Efren.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any public comment on this item? No, okay. Back to council. Any more discussion, or is everybody good to make a motion?
Just to remind the council, this is an
Yes.
amendment, and so there are default provisions in the development agreement, which
In the original,
in the original development agreement, which include a determination of the agreement or seeking any remedies that are available to us with regards to the project. And so we can add provisions to the Second Amendment if that was necessary, but we do have those default provisions in the definitive agreement that was entered into by the parties.
Thank you, Mike.
I think this is going to be a great project when it's done. I just think everyone's very excited about it. And, it's been sitting for a long time, and I think that's why we're anxious and to see it.
Yeah.
Getting extensions, I think that's where the frustrating part is. And even the last time we said, no more extensions, and here we are again. I think we're just frustrated. But again, Efren, I know once this is finished, it's going to be a really great project. And like you said, you've got 100 people waiting to get into the apartments, and that just shows that it's going to be a really nice project when it's finished. I know, and also the retail part, you already have 2 out of the 3, already ready to go for retail. So I know it's going to be great, and it's, a major corner intersection there in our downtown area, so I know it's going to be
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed amended development agreement.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 6.2, Development Impact Fee Report for 2021-2022 and 5-year SB 1693 report. Staff report by Finance Director Alma Collado. Presentation by City Manager Alex Henderson.
Mr. Pro Tem and members of council, this is a legally mandated reporting that we do each year, as well as a 5-year report that obviously is due every 5 years. The Mitigation Fee Act, which is a government code requirement, requires local agencies to submit an annual report detailing the status of development impact fees. This annual report must be made available to the public within 180 days after the close of the fiscal year. It must be presented to council at least 15 days after it is made available to the public. The Development Impact Fee Annual Report for fiscal year June 30, 2022 is attached for your review, as well as a 5-year report. With the passage of Proposition 13 in 1978 and the resulting decline in local government revenues, local governments have increasingly relied on impact fees in order to mitigate the impacts created by new development. So just a reminder, impact fees are only for eligible new construction and doesn't usually include tenant improvements, so things like that. So both for residential and for commercial projects. In response to the growing use of impact fees, the state legislature passed AB 1600 in 1987, the California Mitigation Fee Act, setting forth standards and procedures for how impact fees are imposed, collected, and expended. It requires local governments to segregate and place development impact fees collected into special funds. These funds are held to finance the construction of special facilities for which the fee was imposed, and requires us to prepare annual reports that must be accepted by the council. Skip down a little bit. In 1997, the California State Legislature made certain changes to previous AB 1600 reporting rules with the adoption of SB 1693. This related to if money in certain impact fee funds had not been spent, requires the city to make required findings regardless of whether those monies are committed or uncommitted, and those findings need to be made only once every 5 years. When findings are required, the city must also make them in connection with an annual compliance report, which we are doing this evening. The report is required by AB 1600 to be reviewed by City Council at least 15 days after the report is made available for public review. Our reports were posted on our website on November 22nd, 2022. And again, the purpose of the government code section as it applies to findings and compliance reporting is to provide the community with information as to the status and use of fees collected under the Mitigation Fee Act, commonly called developer impact fees. This report is the city's response to this legislation and mandated reporting in an attempt to inform the City Council and the residents of Kingsburg about our processes and resources used for the city in relation to the developer impact fees. So staff recommends council receive and accept the reports by resolution with resolution 2022-068. Just as a brief overview, the city has 9 different types of development impact fees, which include water facilities, traffic capital facilities, public safety, specialized recreation, general government fee, sewer connection systems fee, storm drain systems fee, and a traffic impact zone fee, as well as a park and recreation fee that's for neighborhood and community or regional activities. So that concludes my report, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. And a summary of the funds are also included in this report as well.
Do you have any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, council discussion. Do you have comments on this? None at all?
It does such a good job.
Yeah. Alma always does a good job. Okay, action. Do we need to pass the resolution and the motion, or is it all in one?
You just need to adopt the
Both, huh?
resolution, which
Okay.
identifies the
All right.
acceptance of the reports.
Can I get a motion?
Make that motion.
I will second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, motion carries. Okay, next we have council report and staff Communications, 7.1, Community Service Commission.
Nothing to report.
Public Safety, we have not met. 7.3, Chamber of Commerce.
Nothing to report.
7.4, Economic Development.
Just a quick update, we have received a little more information from a couple of the other artists that we've asked to submit some additional ideas of the downtown mini murals. So we'll be meeting to look at those, and I think that's just about it. Anything else, Alex?
I think we're planning to meet with property owners and artists a little later this month, and Mike has drafted those agreements that we can put together, so using that, and that'll be the next step.
We're excited to get those up and going, and we've got the 6 spots. And but it was amazing how many different mini murals, for the mini murals, how many different designs that we received. You know, because you don't know if you're going to get 1 or 2 or how many, but we got a lot. It was tough to choose. So I'm very excited.
Have you guys chosen?
They look really, really nice in the downtown.
Chosen some already? Nice. All right. 7.5, Finance Committee.
Nothing to report.
7.6, Planning Commission.
Nothing to report.
7.7, South Kings GSA.
There was just language regarding a contract, Fowler recharge basin. So,
A one in Fowler.
yeah, nothing. They just cut a check early, was all it was. So, nothing else.
Okay, thank you. 7.8, Downtown Business Improvement District.
Nothing to report.
7.9, Council of Governments.
We are having a special meeting next week, but it was supposed to be my last meeting last month, and I was honored at that meeting with a nice plaque, so. that was
Nice.
nice of them.
Nice. 7.10, Council Member Reports.
Nothing to report.
Nothing? All I have is had fun on the trolley with Brandon and Michelle and Laura. Yeah, for the Christmas light parade. Yeah. Oh yeah, and yesterday Alex and I went to a luncheon with Assemblyman Devin Mathis. Yeah, Mathis. And that was okay. Go ahead, Michelle.
The historical park had a holiday lights fundraiser, so if you didn't go out to go check out their holiday lights, they did a really good job decorating out there, and they had like a little crafts fair.
What was the fundraiser for?
For them, for the historical park. And then Yule Grants Fest, the day after Thanksgiving. Nice big turnout. The weather was nice and cool, but not too bad. So it was nice to see everybody out there. So that was a good turnout. Out of the zoo, we had our Zooplex grand opening. I know you guys were invited. And that's for their new office space. And also it's a place where they do the food for 200 plus species of animals. Imagine cooking and doing prep work out there. So it's right behind the African Lodge is where, so you see this new building kind of behind where you do where you touch the rays as well. So if you see that building, that's what that is. And then we have a new baby rhino out there, so if you haven't seen.
Oh, that's right.
That is really cute. And then last week, I attended the Kingsburg Task Force, and we hosted it this month, and another good turnout. Always good information with those. That's it.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Anybody else?
Anybody who didn't go to the model train
Yeah.
expo?
Oh,
at
yeah.
Depot.
The Depot,
Missed out?
You missed out. It's really great. It really is great. They do a real good job. They take some 7 days just to set up the one model
wow.
train. And if you go and look at it, you'll understand why. The detail of the way that they have recreated the city of Kingsburg in like the 40s, 50s, 60s is
Oh,
absolutely
nice.
amazing.
Riverland was new this year. You check that part out.
So well done to them. Very impressive.
Linda does that.
Okay, next we have future agenda items. Anybody have anything?
City managers report?
Oh, my bad. I crossed you off already, Alex. City manager's report.
Good news, too. So,
7-Eleven.
the Measure C Golden State Boulevard project, the 14-mile project that's being funded through Measure C, is supposed to begin in 2023, and I was told today that they will be beginning in Kingsburg. So they will
Oh, nice.
start the
Yeah.
project in Kingsburg.
Right. That's
Good thing. So,
See
and
if
I
it-
think, speaking of the trains, I think that they're still doing 2 of them for the rest of this month. They took 1 of them down, but I'll confirm that. So still check it
So we
out.
have parties in the back.
Yeah, I think there's 3 of them, right? But I think they're going to keep showing 2 of them. I think is what they're going to. That's what they told me to. And then we posted online, but I don't know if it's gone up yet. I will admit I haven't been out there yet today. But the replica coffee pot and the roundabout is
It's
supposed to go.
up and not quite painted yet.
No, it's not painted yet. It's primer.
It's a deep rust color.
Yeah, that's
But it's up. I saw it today.
that's the primer. Yeah, they don't want to damage
It's
the
up.
paint job in transit or install. So that will be coming soon. So we're getting closer. So that's all.
Is anybody going to the Mid Valley Luncheon on Friday?
No.
I might be. I'll check. That's all I have.
All right. Thanks, Alex. Okay, now we can go to future agenda items. None? Okay.
There's one on there.
We just have the
Oh,
the council oath of office. The
oh
reorg.
wait, what am I saying? That's right. 12/21/22, City Council oath of office and council reorganization. That'll be next 12/21, yeah. Okay. The Kingsburg City Council adjourns out to regular calendar into closed session. 9.1, Public Employment California Government Code Section 54957, Title City Manager.
Somebody